Tonight in Washington, D.C., we're visiting the scene of a great American tragedy. Ford's Theater, now a national monument, is where President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated by an actor named John Wilkes Booth. Park Ranger Eric Martin is showing us around.
So here we have an entire view of the entire theater, exactly the way in 1865 it would have appeared. The flag-draped presidential theater box where President Lincoln was seated there. It's exactly the way it appeared on that night, April 14th, 1865.
You know, beyond the historical significance of Ford's Theater, this is just a beautiful building.
An actual working theater, thriving institution to the arts, and keeping and remembering President Lincoln's own love of the theater.
So, did Abraham Lincoln spend a lot of time at Ford's Theater?
Well, we know President Lincoln came to Ford's Theater several times. And he actually saw John Wilkes Booth in a play here called The Marble Heart in 1863. So, yes.
John Wilkes Booth was one of the most popular actors in America at that time. But most people didn't know that Booth was a fanatical Confederate sympathizer.
John Wilkes Booth, though, I mean, the level of hatred and malice that he had in his heart for the Union and for President Lincoln, wouldn't that have surfaced at some point?
Well, actually, the only people who knew that John Wilkes Booth had Southern political leanings towards the Confederacy and his dislike of Lincoln politically were the immediate members of his family. Really hardly anybody else knew about it.
In Lincoln's day, presidents were not heavily guarded. It was easy for a celebrity like Booth to open the door to the president's box and step inside.
So this is it.
This is it, and right there in that rocking chair, walnut rocking chair that was owned by the Fords, that's exactly where President Lincoln was seated that night as he was anticipating the funniest line of the play, or once the line is uttered and over 1,800 people break out in laughter, that's when Booth steps through this door and from behind shoots President Lincoln.
Jeez.
Wow.
Everything, down to the tiniest detail, waiting for a line to get a reaction from the audience. I mean, everything was so meticulously planned.
This is where the course of American history would be forever altered and changed.
Man, oh man. That gives you chills to see it just so close. Booth escaped by jumping from the balcony to the stage in full view of the audience.
From the time John Wilkes Booth steps into this theater box to the time he's out the back door, probably no more than 10 seconds had elapsed. Wow. It's very, very quick.
Eventually, Booth was hunted down and killed by Union soldiers. President Lincoln was carried out of the theater to the nearest available bed, across the street at the Peterson boarding house.
In the front parlor here, Mary Todd Lincoln was basically in this area, made visits back and forth during the 9 hours President Lincoln is unconscious in that last room at the end of the hall.
Can you imagine living in this house and you know, tragedy strikes and all of a sudden you are hosting the president and all of his staff on trying to figure out what to do next? I cannot imagine that moment.
No, not at all.
For 9 hours, the president lay unconscious in this back bedroom.
Everything you see in the room is exactly what you would have seen, and the wallpaper is identical too, including all the prints.
Numerous doctors came to assess the president, and one surgeon attempted to extract the bullet.
Surgeon General Barnes attempted to extract the bullet that was lodged behind President Lincoln's right eye with a probe, a very rudimentary technique, and was unable to extract it, which may have hastened President Lincoln's death.
When Abraham Lincoln died at 7:22 the next morning, one of the men at his bedside said, "Now he belongs to the ages."
It just feels unnerving, just kind of being in this room. It gives you goosebumps, you know? And all day today, we were going to the memorials, the Lincoln Memorial, even the MLK Memorial. And then to come here, you see the other side of what a president like Abraham Lincoln stood, fought for, and ultimately died for.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave any questions or comments that you have.
And please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come.